Welcome to the Sykes & Company PA video blog featuring Ollin Sykes.
How do you look at that decision to sell? How do you make that call?
Well, that's a very large and very open-ended question. It depends on a whole host of factors. Obviously, your life plan, your financial status, your health, whether your pharmacy is in a position to be sold, and sometimes that will take 3 or 4 or 5 years in advance to prepare your pharmacy for sale. I know we have been retained by some pharmacists many years ago to help prepare them for sale, and we've had several in the last year that have sold out. And we help them prepare for this, and helping them prepare and making sure the accounting records and books are very accurate so that the cash flow or the earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization, which is commonly referred to as EBITDA, can be determined very quickly and very accurately. That's a very important key criteria in that process because in the sellout of pharmacies in today's world, a factor of about 3 to 3.2 of the net recasted EBITDA is a very, very key formula with the pharmacy Pacific banks that are lending to acquisition pharmacy candidates to buy out the boomers in today's world. So if the boomer doesn't have his accounting books and records where they need to be, and if you're running everything but the kitchen sink through those books, you've got to recast those numbers to properly reflect how your pharmacy could be operated if a new owner stepped in tomorrow to run your pharmacy without you being there. So that's what we're referring to when we talk about recasted EBITDA. You may have your spouse on or family members on the payroll. You may have several vehicles. You may have other assets that are involved indirectly into the pharmacy. And if you're removed from that equation tomorrow in a sale, then a lot of those costs and expenses would be X'd out from that transaction, and you want to receive value for that in your cash flow, available cash flow that would ultimately flow over to the transitioning incoming pharmacist.
So basically, if they have not recast the figures, they could end up selling the pharmacy for less than the true value.
Oh, without question, and you can't just take the tax returns or even the QuickBooks files that they may have, and just look at the numbers and use that. You've got to really dig down into the general ledgers, into the various account structures to see exactly what's inclusive in those expenses to recast those numbers, and that's an extraordinarily important thing that we do on a constant basis to find out the real true value of a pharmacy, either for a buyer or a seller. That's very, very important.
And one thing people may not know watching this is that you also do often the personal taxes for pharmacy owners. So someone who's looking at selling could actually show you their goals, their personal side, what they want, and have you give them the real landscape.
Yeah, in most cases with the pharmacies we're involved in, we're helping them with their personal returns. We're helping them with a lot of them obviously have other entities they're involved in. Some of those entities would be maybe real estate entities that own the real estate for the pharmacy, and are other kinds of investment entities they may have. But somebody needs to have the complete picture for the potential selling pharmacist, in order to be able to maximize the entire process. Because the sale of the pharmacy is probably the single largest major financial decision that a pharmacist in their 50s, 60s, 70s would probably make in their lifetime.
Thank you for joining us today. If you want more information or have any questions, please feel free to contact Ollin directly.